Much like an ex-girlfriend, Marvel is once again trying to reclaim its position in my life. They just hit me with the "hey, I miss us" text, and I gotta say, a man is only so strong. And the breakup was messy because after the Agatha All Along incident, I thought we were over with. For the first time in my life, I, a diehard Marvel fan, didn't put in the effort to watch a Marvel show. And just like keeping up with your ex on Instagram from afar, I've been following the news and controversy with this Daredevil show. From alleged countless reshoots to the possibility of not bringing back the OG cast, I didn't know what was going to happen with it. If I remember, the show was supposed to have about 18 episodes, which was a longer episode count than any of the Netflix seasons, but was reduced to 9. I don't think that's really a good thing. And if I'm being honest, that's kind of a red flag. And now they finally decided to reveal the new Daredevil Born Again trailer. And I gotta say, my initial reaction to the trailer is that I'm cautiously optimistic. Now, I think the most notable thing with this trailer is that it is much darker and grittier than the Netflix series. We're seeing Daredevil and, I guess, Matt Murdock in an entirely new light here. Now, one important change with this new show is that it's going to be following the canon from the Netflix Daredevil series. So if you've seen that television show, then it's going to essentially pick up from where we left off. And if you remember, the last time we saw Matt in that show, he ended off in a really good place, both mentally, spiritually, and socially. Matt always strived to walk the path of the righteous, especially with that Catholic guilt. It seems somewhere between the last time we saw him, he crossed that line, and we're going to see a much older and jaded Matt Murdock, which I think is both a good and bad thing. With, in my opinion, the most notable line in the entire trailer is Daredevil saying,
"The line was crossed."
If I had to speculate, the worst possible scenario is that Daredevil is referring to his moral code and he actually broke it, aka he killed someone, which is a drastic character moment and a huge change from the Matt Murdock we saw in the last season. And so when I say it's both a good and bad thing they're leaning into this, I'm kind of worried that's essentially going to defeat all the work the writers did in that season. But on the other side to that argument, it could also be a good thing to take him that far to the edge. So it gives him a character arc and some place to come back from. Because the appeal of Daredevil has always been about that spiritual and moral journey.
But the best thing about Daredevil was the action scenes, the fighting choreography, the hallway.
No, the thing that made you care and invested in Daredevil was the writing, the story, the journey Matt went on. So my biggest worry for this entire trailer is that the writers of this new show, aka new writers, ones who never worked on the previous show, are going to neglect the point of Daredevil. But again, I also remain optimistic because allegedly I think they're the writers of the Punisher series, and if you watch that, the first season was pretty good, so they kind of know what they're doing too. Another interesting aspect of the trailer is that Wilson Fisk appears to be running or is now the mayor of New York, which comes directly from a comic run. I think that could tie really well with the whole lawyer aspect of the show, if they're going to go down that route. The last time we saw him was technically in the Echo show, and if you remember anything about that, it essentially ruined his character. It seems like he finally grew a spine. Thank you, Marvel. Kingpin is back. I think Fisk also appears to be taking on a back role from the vibes I got from the trailer, and it's going to focus more on other antagonists, maybe Dex, who's also returning, and also a new character they're going to introduce, White Tiger. I think the biggest win here, though, is the returning cast. And seeing Foggy, Karen, and Frank, the Punisher, in the MCU now is a great win. Oh, I also got to say, some of the shots are really brilliant. I was worried that Daredevil was going to not be as, I guess, aesthetic as the Netflix show was, and that they were going to MCU-ify the visuals, but the trailer does alleviate some of those concerns. Overall, some of the highlights I took away from the trailer are the visuals, the action choreography, the returning characters, especially Frank, the Punisher, given his dynamic and relationship with Matt, and Matt Murdock's place in all this. With the title Born Again being a highly religious phrase, I'm so interested to see what route they take Matt down. Oh, one detail or Easter egg people are saying is that they heard a Spider-Man thwip at the end of the trailer. Which I don't know. I don't really hear it, but it could be cool if he does show up. But I fear may detract from the serious tone of the show. But most importantly, Daredevil Born Again is a make or break for Marvel Studios. Because if they break, they're going to lose a lot more fans. So yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic. Dare I say, I'm even looking forward to the show. Just stay tuned. I'll of course be covering it when it comes out. But if you can't wait, I did talk about the Netflix series, so go check that out if you're interested. And to Marvel Studios. Okay, fine. I'll answer your text. I'll give you one more shot. But I ask you, please do not break my heart once again.